Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to be more productive at work, and these are sort of tips and tricks that I've developed through my numerous years working in different companies. So I've worked at the Bank of England for a couple of years, that's where I'm working at the moment, a couple of years in investment banks, and what I found really helpful is these 5 things that we're going to come on to. So tip number 1 would be to set clearly defined time-sensitive deliverables each day. So what I do at the start of every day, I write down sort of 2-3 things that I definitely want to do by the end of the day, and depending on the criticality of that deliverable, I will put timelines, rough times that I want to deliver each of those bits of work for. So for example, maybe by 12 by lunchtime, 12:30, whenever I'm cutting out time for work. And I hold myself to account for delivering that particular piece of work. And why I find this is helpful is because I think a lot of people try and multitask and they actually multi-fail. They try and do 2 or 3 things at once, even if that's checking your emails, calling someone and trying to write an email and doing some, writing a report. That's too much, and you're going to be doing constantly moving in between them, wasting lots of time moving between documents. And what I found is really helpful is being focused on one thing at a time, and you're just far more productive if you do that. And for me, what helps me focus on one thing at a time is setting time-specific, time-critical deliverables. So that's tip 1. Tip 2, which is related to setting deliverables, is prioritization. And so in that list, you should have just a basic prioritization matrix, where you could have, this needs to be delivered first, this second, this third. And that allows you for, if things come up during the day that have to mean that item number 3 can be pushed to tomorrow, that's fine. Just writing down things that can be pushed to tomorrow and things that can't, it allows you to be far more focused and not spend time worrying about what you shouldn't be working on during the day. And using this framework, you can insert things as they come up live in the day to more effectively manage, prioritise your schedule. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is actually trying to delegate more effectively, and this is obviously not relevant for people who've just started their career, of aspects of work which you think someone below you can do, or on your scale can do, and has capacity for, you should delegate to that work. Don't feel like you have to do everything just because you think that if you do more you'll come across as more impressive. Actually, no. Focusing on a smaller list of things and doing them well and having a consistent quality is going to be more important than trying to do lots and losing on the quality. So working out where you can prioritise, and this comes on to point number 4. All of this relies on really effective communication. So effective written communication with yourself in terms of what you're going to be focusing on each day, but also effective communication with people on your team, telling them that you'd like to delegate this work, is that acceptable, telling them when something's come up that you're having to deprioritise something else. And this saves you a lot of time, because if you don't communicate effectively and you deprioritise or delegate something inaccurately, that can piss people off and cause you wasted time, right? And you can end up fretting about that as well. So you want to just minimise the scope for that to happen by effectively communicating. So those are my first 4 tips. And then tip number 5, something that's really helped me a lot, is and it's related to focusing on one thing at a time, just try and mute your inbox and ignore communications like on Teams and stuff for 30 minutes if you can when you're working each time, and devote a time that you're going to spend to check messages or reply to emails in every 30-minute, 1 hour slot, whatever it could be. Because too often I see people, and it's the multi-failing point, looking at their emails, looking at their Teams messages when they're trying to do something else, then losing the thread of their thought process. Being singularly focused on a deliverable that you've prioritised to be, time critical, will make you far more productive than trying to constantly worry and fret over multiple competing deliverables. So those are my 5 tips to be more productive. And I would actually say a 6th tiny little tip actually to add would be, when it comes to taking breaks, don't think of that as a hindrance on your productivity. Science and studies have shown that taking a 10-minute walk, taking some time to go and chat with someone at their desk every couple of hours, every hour and a half actually, you come back after that more productive. And it's counterintuitive, but if you were to work 3 hours straight rather than an hour and a half, 10-minute break, an hour and a half, in that 3 hours, including the 10-minute break, you would be far more productive than in the 3 hours without the 10-minute break. And that's because, basically you're cognitive function and activity declines the longer it is since you've had a break. So it's important to take breaks and set that strategically as well in your schedule when you're going to take breaks. Just think every 90 minutes I'm going to take a break, and that'll help you regain focus and stay productive. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and have a great day.